Well, it's time for another episode in my series on what I consider to be the top 7 things to avoid before you file the Chapter 7 or Chapter 13 bankruptcy. This will be episode 6, paying ahead on your mortgage or your car loan. It seems innocent enough to be paying a little extra on your car loan or on your mortgage. I often run into people who just round up their payment a little bit. The payment's really supposed to be $230 or $228 or something like that, and they just write it for $250 on their car loan. Some people have been listening to Dave Ramsey or some other resource that recommends paying extra on your mortgage. Maybe if you pay an extra $100 or an extra $200 every month, you get it paid off 5 years sooner, something like that. Seems like an innocent idea, might seem like a prudent idea, but if you are planning or contemplating a Chapter 13 or a Chapter 7, especially a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, it's not a good idea. It is a little hard for me to explain why this is a no-no, because there are multiple reasons why it's risky. There are multiple reasons why it could create a problem. You might run into this 522-0. Now, the most common thing with 522-0 would be if you, let's say you had some asset like a lake cabin. You're thinking about a bankruptcy. The lake cabin is not exempt because you only get one homestead and you already have another house. So you sell your lake cabin, you put the money from the lake cabin into your mortgage, you pay down the mortgage. Now the equity that was in the lake cabin is in your house. That part of your house equity might not be exempt. Or if you make a regular practice of paying extra on your mortgage, an enterprising trustee could take a look at that, go back over time and take a look at that and try to claim that that was also extra money being put into the house, and try to claim that it's not exempt. Next thing, possible fraudulent transfer. You're putting extra money into your house. You're paying extra money on your mortgage, or you're putting extra money into your car. You're paying extra money on your car loan. It could just be considered what they call a fraudulent transfer. In other words, you're hiding money somewhere. Same as if you were giving the money to your brother to hold for you or something like that. So you're hiding money, at least this is the theory you might run into, and now the bankruptcy trustee is going to try to claw that back from the creditor. Third thing, possibly what we call a preference. Now, I talked about preferences in episode 3 of this series, making large payments on unsecured debts. Now, making a large payment on an unsecured debt can create what they call a preference, because that creditor, that unsecured creditor, is being preferred over the other unsecured creditors. Well, okay, now, so I'm talking about secured loans. I'm talking about mortgages and car loans here, not unsecured debts. But in the event that you're upside down on the car or upside down on the house, and by that I mean you owe more than the asset is worth, then you have a debt that is at least partially unsecured. And the bankruptcy trustee may come up with some sort of a argument that you paid this money on an unsecured debt and it was over $600 in the 90 days before the case was filed. Therefore, claw back the money from the creditor again.